Hey everyone, welcome back. Chris McCormick joined by Sam Kim. Today we are in our Scottsdale studio doing a little bit of testing with the new Cobra Adapt fairway wood family. So we got 3 heads to test. So we're gonna head over to the bay and hit some shots, but before we do that, we've already got our baseline data with current 2024 product. We're gonna test the new Adapt 2025, see how they stack up next to each other, and see what kind of fun we can have.
Let's do it.
All right, Sam. All new fairway family coming into Cobra this year in the Adapt line. So the Adapt line is going to be available in an LS, an X, and then also a Max product. So what you're going to notice here is not a lot of difference in shaping, but acoustics are going to be a touch different, and then they also really focused on the shaping of the sole and also the internal weighting component. So first impressions with the X here, which is going to be kind of that all-encompassing head where the majority of players are going to land. What do you see?
It looks like a traditional shaped 3-wood, which I don't mean that in a bad way. It looks good. And the matte black looks really nice. Same as last year. I thought last year's looked good, and I think this year's looks good too.
So really cool addition that we get in the fairway family this year is Future Fit 33. So it's Cobra's proprietary loft system that allows the player or the fitter to adjust loft, lie, face angle all independently with 33 different loft and face angle settings. So you can adjust lie, you can adjust loft, you can really dial in start direction and ball flight. So cool story being incorporated into a fairway wood. So I don't know about you, but in a fitting bay, working with players, sometimes fairway wood can be the hardest club to dial in.
It's great.
Good ball there.
Yeah, that felt great.
Nice tight little draw. Good carry number there.
I think if anything, maybe it feels a little softer than last year's, but other than that, not too different in a good way.
So they do have a new hot face that they're incorporating into fairway wood family. So 15 hot zones positioned all across the face. So that's going to be in an effort to sustain ball speed even when you miss it a little bit, and also keep that launch window under control on the touch of a miss hit that you have, high, low, toe, or heel. Okay, let's get one more good one for the sample here.
That feels really good.
Nice. So that was a good sample. Let's take a look at some of the data and see how it compares to previous generation DarkSpeed. New Adapt X versus DarkSpeed X. I mean, taking a look at these side by side, there's not a lot of difference here, which you wouldn't typically expect to be huge difference in fairway wood, but a little bump in ball speed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no to more ball speed.
Absolutely not. Launch is almost the same, spin very, very close. And if anything, we have a couple more yards of carry. Nice little bump in speed, never a bad thing. Real story here is sustainability of ball speed on the miss with that new face design, and then also giving us all of that adjustability, which is not only going to help with start direction, launch, spin, but also help with gapping. So you've got 2 degrees of loft that you can adjust up or down, and then also incorporating that into start line bias, and you have an opportunity to gap your fairway woods now more so than ever.
Yeah.
So with that, let's jump into that more player-friendly design in the LS. So the LS head is going to be that lowest launch, lowest spinning in the fairway wood family. But just like we had talked about in the X, this is going to have that adaptive weighting system where we've got 34 grams of tungsten pushed towards the poles, kind of heel and toe, really maximize workability and ball speed. So first impressions, what do you see here?
It looks like maybe a smaller head than the X, just a little bit.
Okay, footprint's definitely a touch different.
But I'd say the other 2 things are deeper face and the amount of options for customizing this head there's so many.
For that particular LS player, a lot more user-friendly off the tee.
That felt great.
Really good ball flight there. So notice a difference in sound here, Sam?
It sounds very solid.
So you've got titanium construction in this LS head, a little lighter material than what we have in the X or in the Max D. So really has an opportunity to be kind of machined and more versatile for I mean, more distribution of discretionary weight, right? So 34 grams of weight like we talked about. Titanium allows them to free up that weight and move it around internally to really customize launch and spin characteristics.
There we go.
That's a good ball to end on there.
That felt great.
Nice. Ooh, big number there. So taking a look at Dark Speed LS versus Adapt LS, there's a little more of a story here. So why don't you walk us through some of these numbers we're looking at?
So 2.5 miles an hour more ball speed,
Huge.
faster off the face, launching a touch higher with a little less spin. That equals 10 yards of carry.
More distance.
More distance.
Hey, this is a cool ball speed story here. So launch goes up, spin comes down, and faster.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're testing at the standard setting, and this is pretty impressive to say the least. So now, jumping into that Max product, which is gonna be our most player-friendly product that we have out there. Let's see what that does for us.
Let's do it.
The last head to test today is gonna be the Adapt Max. So this is gonna be that player-friendly draw bias head and has little adjustability for us. So we can shift weight back or towards the heel. So at address, how's this compare to X and LS?
It definitely looks like the biggest profile, but in a good way. Very friendly, easy to hit. That's what it looks like.
Well, let's see what you do with it. Nice high draw. The more testing we do, Sam, the more I think you're just a Max guy. So a little more forgiveness might not be the worst thing in the world for you.
I'll take all of it.
This is auto draw.
Auto draw.
Easy to launch, moves right to left for us. Spin isn't crazy, but you would expect a little more spin out of this particular Max product. And for that Max player, spin keeps the ball in the air, spin keeps the ball in play.
Also, Max a little bit more loft than the X and the LS, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's gonna have a slightly weaker loft in that 3-wood. And again, that player needs launch and spin. There he is.
There we go.
Good sound out of that head too.
Sounds great.
Nice. So Max head, take a look at this data here. I mean, noticing a trend, more speed, better launch, slightly lower spin. So what are you seeing here? Walk us through kind of how these compare to each other.
Yeah, so lower spin is the first thing that stands out. That's kind of been across the board, right? Lower spin.
Absolutely.
But pair that with the higher launch, 7 yards more carry.
7 yards more carry. And again, this particular player needs a little bit of launch and spin. So even though we're seeing, just a touch lower spin, launch came up nicely for us. So that player that may have a little bit of trouble launching fairway wood off of the deck could take advantage of this new Adapt Max product, see some higher launch, still not allow spin to get crazy for them, and then really have some fine-tuning opportunities with Adapt 33 and then also the adjustable weight system. This is a good representation of kind of how these products compare to each other, and really excited to see what Cobra does coming into 25.
When you're ready to get fit for your Cobra Adapt fairway woods, visit your nearby TrueSpec location.